So we got that out on the table. And to cap it off, on Friday, Obama himself wanted to send loud and clear a message that he was not going to stand for this and not do the crybaby tactic that this is so unfair, but he was going to engage the fundamental foreign policy debate that has been left on the table for far too long. This is the first thing he said in a town hall in South Dakota. This is about the foreign policy failures of the Bush-McCain strategy.
I've got to explain why we are now in our entering our sixth year of war in Iraq. We were supposed to be going over there for weapons of mass destruction that we never found. We were told that it was going to last a few months and cost a few $billion. We have now spent over $600 billion, thousands of lives lost, and we have not been made more safe. They're going to have to explain the fact that Osama bin Laden is still at large and is sending out videotapes with impunity. They need to answer for the fact that Al-Qaeda's leadership is stronger than ever because we took our eye off the ball in Afghanistan. They've got to answer for the fact that Iran is the greatest strategic beneficiary of our invasion in Iraq. It made Iran stronger, George Bush's policies. They're going to have to explain why Hamas now controls Gaza, Hamas that was strengthened because the United States insisted that we should have democratic elections in the Palestinian Authority. They're going to have to explain why it is that Iran is able to fund Hezbollah and poses the greatest threat to America and Israel in the Middle East in a generation. That's the Bush-McCain record on protecting this country.
So this is one of the reasons why these fear-mongering tactics didn't work in 2006 and are even far less likely to work in 2008. There's a record here. There's a conservative record of failure in Iraq, with Iran, across the globe. So it was a lot easier to do the fear-mongering in 2002 when there was a presumption that the tough-talking Republicans knew what they were doing. Evidence has proved otherwise. And for all the talk that change is just a slogan, and he's not saying what kind of change he's talking about, he laid right on the table what a change of course with Iran looks like.
Our Iran policy is a complete failure right now. And that's the policy that John McCain is running on. He has nothing to offer except the naive and irresponsible belief that tough talk from Washington will somehow cause Iran to give up its nuclear program and support for terrorism. I'm running for president to change course, not to continue George Bush's course. I believe we need to use all elements of American power to pressure Iran, including tough, principled, and direct diplomacy. That's what John F. Kennedy did. That's what Ronald Reagan did when dealing with the Soviets. And that's what the president's own Secretary of Defense wants to do. I mean, I understand George Bush's Secretary of Defense suggests that we talk directly to Iran. So I don't know if George Bush is calling his own Secretary of Defense an appeaser. I don't know who he's talking about. It's time to present Iran with a clear choice. If it abandons its nuclear program, support for terror, and threats to Israel, then Iran can rejoin the community of nations. If not, Iran will face deeper isolation and steeper sanctions.
And that's just, that's diplomacy 101, people. That is responsible foreign policy. You have a negotiation. You lay out tough terms that are fair. There's plenty of evidence that that common ground is achievable. And as Obama correctly pointed out, it is naive and irresponsible to not conduct that diplomacy. They've been trying to put the naive tag on liberals and Democrats for decades. You've now seen naivety in practice for 7 years, and they're going to get called on it, and it's going to be sweet. So get excited, people. We're going to have a real debate, an elevated debate, They're going to try to bring it down the gutter. It's just going to blow back in their face. They need, Senator Clinton played some rough ball in the primary. It hurt Obama in certain places, but she went down with moderate swing voters who aren't participating in the primaries in the process. Those are the voters that McCain needs. If he goes nasty, it's going to fail. He's going to lose in the merits. He's going to lose in the politics. So bring it on, as one not-so-wise man once said. When we come back, we're going to talk to Ben Ray from the preeminent liberal Kentucky blog, bluegrassroots.com, on the upcoming Kentucky primary on Tuesday and what are Obama's chances on Tuesday and beyond in the partially Appalachian state. Before I forget, Sunday, June 1st at Edwards Church, a benefit for the First Churches, another Raise the Roof concert featuring the Kneeled at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are available at the First Churches. This is Bill Sheriff with Liberal Oasis Radio Show on WHMP News, Information, and the Arts. We'll be back after the break with Ben Ray from bluegrassroots.com. Back after this.